we're going over zero RB. Zero RB draft strategy, and I'm on the clock in an Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty League. Hit that link in the description of every video. Use promo code Smitty and they'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. But we are doing a draft. You can see live right now, I'm at the 10 pick and I'm going to deploy zero RB. Now, zero RB can mean 100 different things. It can mean that you're going to go zero RB through the first 4 rounds, the first 5 rounds. And real quickly, before we move on, understand this strategy isn't for everybody. If you're an anxious type person, don't go down this rabbit hole. It will drive you nuts. This is for the type of person that loves strategy and likes to go hunting for a solution while stacking all these other positions up to the top, to the rafters. Know that before you start getting all crazy. Maybe you go zero RB in rounds 1 and 2 only, and you get back to running back drafting in round 3 and 4. Now, I'm here to tell you, do not deploy or set yourself into some sort of rut or strategy you can't get out of. Don't be a cemented in Caleb that can't adjust and adapt. You got to be able to abort your strategy if best player available presents itself. But let's start off, and I believe I'm very confident we'll start off with a wide receiver approach because of the way this 10 overall pick usually turns out. But what if Bijan falls to 10? Then I abort. I don't know if Bijan will go at 10. It went JJ, Jamar Chase, McCaffrey, Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, Austin Eckler, Bijan. Okay, he went. So, you know, in a way, good, because I want to deploy a wide receiver approach. Right here, we're looking at Amon-Ra St. Brown being available. I think Garrett Wilson may or may not fall to me. I'm going to go Amon-Ra because he's ranked higher. Hopefully, I get the double-decker. For those that don't know what the double-decker is, it is when you draft Amon-Ra St. Brown and Garrett Wilson in the same draft.
Pronounced double-decker in academic circles, is drafting both Amon-Ra St. Brown and Garrett Wilson back-to-back in rounds 1 and 2. The double-decker.
We're gonna try the double-decker here. Garrett Wilson just went. This is a tough draft slot to maybe do this in, so we might have to go. I don't know if CeeDee Lamb will fall. If CeeDee Lamb falls, that's fine. That's a perfect way to do it. Okay, so Adams, I'm not taking Adams. This is where I would take Tony Pollard. This is not what we wanted, because I don't want to force Olave's not bad here. I don't want to force Olave here. I would take Tony Pollard here. So this may not be a draft strategy we can deploy. I'm not going to force it. I'm going to practice what I preach. I'm going Tony Pollard here. We're going to have to go a different route. We're going to have to go a different draft. And this is a perfect example of me walking the walk. You know, I'm not just going to talk the talk and not deploy the back out abort strategy. So here it is. I went Tony Pollard, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm going to start another draft, and we're going to go ahead and jump in between those 2 drafts. So start another puppy draft. Let's go 30-second timer. All right, so this particular draft, I got the 9 pick. I'm gonna go Amon-Ra again right here and draft Amon-Ra, and hopefully I get Garrett Wilson. I don't think I'm gonna get Garrett Wilson. I highly doubt I get Garrett Wilson, but let's just hope we do. And if not, we're gonna take Chris Olave in this draft. Hopefully Tony Pollard's not there. Come on, Garrett Wilson, fall, baby, fall. Tony Pollard. We got AJ Brown or Garrett Wilson. So I'm definitely going wide receiver. Thank God. AJ Brown. We got Garrett Wilson, baby. Garrett Wilson. We've got the official double-decker underway. Ladies and gentlemen, punch and cue the double-decker scene, please.
Pronounced double-decker in academic circles, is drafting both Amon-Ra St. Brown and Garrett Wilson back-to-back in rounds 1 and 2. The double-decker.
Okay, so now we have the official wide receiver approach underway. Again, you saw me abort it at the beginning of the video because you got to be able to abort a strategy if another strategy looks better. And so we're underway. Let's go! Mashed potatoes! We're underway. Official wide receiver, or in this case, we're talking zero running back strategy is underway. So let's continue on. Let's take a look at this draft real quick. Henry, Adams, Josh Jacobs, Waddle, Chris Olave. That's good value there, Chris Olave. All right, let's go back over. We're gonna sit here and wait for our pick. We'll just leave it right there and discuss like some of the strategy involved. So in zero RB, your intention is to go zero RB for as long as possible and take advantage of the Walker round 5, Pacheco 7 or 6, Swift in 6, 7. Pacheco could go 7, 8, 9. It depends on the suggested rank. You're clearly going to try and push Kamara and Pacheco as far down as you can. Take advantage of it. Charbonnets are a good type of player to grab. Herbert, Khalil Herbert, those are all players that you want to accumulate and throw on your bench and attack wide receiver and quarterback and maybe even tight end early and just accumulate a team that is completely zero RB for as long as possible. Not saying you go into round 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm saying you go until you have like almost a starting lineup and no RBs, or maybe one RB in round 5, and then you go potentially wide receiver again round 6. You don't have to return to RBs and go straight RB, but typically to deploy this strategy most effectively, you do kind of go toward round 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you kind of play out round 5 and see. But usually round 5 is when I reintroduce the running back kind of thinking, and I usually go running back straight through 5, 6, 7, you know. So we'll see if I deploy that type of approach or not. Gibbs went. That sucks. I would have aborted for Gibbs. If Gibbs fell to me here at 33, I don't care if it's in front of all of you, I'm aborting and going Jahmyr Gibbs. And you all should have that same kind of mentality. Don't want JT. Don't want Ramondre. I'm continuing on. So best player available is opening a door to me to continue to draft no running backs at this point. I'm going to go ahead and take Debo here. I like Christian Watson a lot. I like Debo a lot. I don't mind this value whatsoever. I've got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Debo Samuel, Lamar Jackson just went, and then it's going to flip back around. Now, I'm going to be very tempted to go RB here, but if I can find, and it probably will be QB, a way not to, I'm going to avoid it so that I can come back around and deploy the strategy we're trying to deploy here, which is going to be heavy RB later. Take advantage of Kenneth Walker, take advantage of Breece Hall, those guys that could be in round 5, and then Pacheco, Kamara, all those guys later. This should be a very interesting approach. Keenan Allen went in the 3rd round. That's so early. Christian Watson, I contemplated him at the Debo pick, and I was kind of hoping he'd come back around and be my 4th player, because I would definitely have gone Watson at that 4th round pick. Okay, so Breece Hall's there. He's definitely falling into round 4. His ADP's been settling. Burrow's going 49 overall. So our next pick is, let's see here, 57. There's no way Burrow or Fields is making it to our next pick. Let's maybe go Fields here. Let's take a gander. We could go Stevenson. This is where Stevenson starts looking really attractive again. I'm not against Stevenson. I just don't want him in the 3rd round right now. He feels a little bit risky there. Breece Hall, I don't think he's going to last to us, but Kenneth Walker might. So I'm going to go ahead and take Justin Fields here, and I'm going to look at the squad so far. Phenomenal build. This is 0 RB to a T, and we haven't forced it. Again, the beginning of this video was evidence that I won't force it, neither should you. This is the perfect deployment of 0 RB. These are 4 absolute ballers. Fields, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Debo Samuel. I don't think you can start a better 0 RB strategy than this. So I'm very, very excited to see how this plays out. We're heading down the draft board. Hopefully Kenneth Walker falls. If Kenneth Walker falls, I'm literally getting up, walking out that door, and I'm walking straight to the bank. I'm walking straight to the bank. I'm going to put my team on a napkin, put it up against the glass, and say, can you give me an advance on my entry fee? Can you give me an advance? I'm winning 1st place. They're going to take a look at that. The person at the window is going to go like this. Can you hand me that napkin? Slide it through. Holy crap. John, come over and take a look at this. They're going to say, come to the back. Come to the back. We're going to take you to the back. Let's get you your own lockbox. We're going to put your napkin in the lockbox, and we're going to walk you straight to the back and get you that. Damn it, Kenneth Walker just went. Who is that? Is that one of ours? Come on. Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker. All right, let's see what we can do. We're still going to be okay, but man, if he would have fallen, it would have been a tall order to fall all the way to the end of round number 4, but that would have been unbelievable. Burrow's still there. The only time I'm going to be super angry, you know, in repiecing this backwards is looking at something like, okay, you got Burrow. Let's say Burrow falls. I could have took Burrow and Walker. I could have took Walker, then Burrow instead of Fields and not getting, but I have a feeling Burrow's going to go. So I don't think it's going to end up mattering. Although it's really looking like, yeah, Joe Burrow went. Okay, 51 overall. So who's going to be there at RB? And do we continue to kick the problem down the road? JSN's a great pick here. RB, it really is looking pretty interesting here. JSN just went, okay. So we could go, let's go RB here. I think RB is the best option. I like Javonte a lot. I'm gonna go Javonte here. It's a little, not too early. We're almost turning into the 6th round. So far the team is looking Fields, Javonte, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Deebo Samuel. And I bet some are going, I don't know if I like that as my running back one, but once we start compiling RBs like Kamara, Pacheco, Swift, it's going to start looking a lot better and stronger. So I think Swift will probably be there on this flip around, and then we'll go ahead and I think have a little bit deeper of a looking running back room. Swift is there, Kamara is there, Pacheco's there. I think we get at least one of those guys later, and we're definitely getting one of them in a couple seconds here. I'm going to go Swift. He's the highest ranked guy. I don't need to force Kamara or Pacheco. Kamara and Pacheco are the most likely to fall. Rashad White's a good player later on. Khalil Herbert's a great player later on. Charbonnet, let's go ahead and snipe Charbonnet from that guy that took Walker from me. Bigsby, McKinnon. These are all very, very good running backs. And the thinking here, especially in best ball, and this is not a strategy you can only apply to best ball. It's just we're doing a best ball draft to show it. But basically, your whole goal is you're going to consume some locks at quarterback and wide receiver, and in some cases tight end. You can do a 0 running back with Kelsey in round 1. It's still considered a 0 RB strategy. But the thing you're doing here is you're taking so many guaranteed shots. Oh God, go Swift. Almost timed out. Okay, so we got Swift. Now the running back room's looking better, right? At first it was like, okay, you just have Javonte. We have Javonte and Swift. What you're doing is you've got these guarantees and Amon-Ra St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Deebo, and Fields. And now we're going to accumulate just a plethora of good running backs in the running back room, where we only need this rotation of, okay, Swift's great 1 week, Javonte's great 1 week. If we have Pacheco, Swift, Kamara, like if we do get Kamara and Pacheco, then our running back room looks really good. It looks too good for having this wide receiver and quarterback room. So we'll see how it plays out here. Hopefully Kamara falls. I don't know that he will. Dameon Pierce went. Trevor Lawrence was a good value there at 67. Reverse engineering this, I could say that Trevor Lawrence is 64 and Walker, where we got Fields, could have been like maybe where if I could go back in time and reverse it, I'd say, you know what, maybe we do swing a little bit later at a quarterback and hit Trevor Lawrence out of the park and get Walker in this mix, because quite honestly, I'll admit that feels like maybe it would be the better strategy here. T-Law, Walker at running back, those wide receivers. However, I love Fields so much, I'm going to go ahead and push back on my own argument right there and say that this could definitely outscore that team. Cam Akers just went. Okay, JK's gone. Cook, Madison, David Montgomery. I like Monty, but those are guys I'm not specifically targeting with this pick. I want Kamara. I think Kamara will be phenomenal. I know he's missing time. There he went. Kamara just went. The nature of playing fantasy football, getting sniped like crazy. That's okay. I love Pacheco. I love Khalil Herbert. I like Zach Charbonnet. Wide receivers, just to look, we got Dotson. We can't ignore wide receiver and just pretend they don't exist. We got Dotson we got to keep an eye on. George Pickens, did he go? Kadarius Toney's interesting. Pickens must have went already. Tight end, Evan Ingram's solid. Kincaid, and I'm gonna cue him for later. And it looks like we're gonna be able to get Pacheco. So Pacheco's there. He's the best pick in my opinion. Dalvin Cook's an interesting pick here, just because he's going to get touches, but we'll go. So Javonte, our running back room is Javonte, DeAndre Swift, Isaiah Pacheco. We'll probably get McKinnon. We got Fields. We got Amon-Ra St. Brown. We got Garrett Wilson. We got Deebo Samuel. This is coming along pretty good. This is definitely, I think, to a T, how to draft a 0 RB approach. It's not for everybody. It's definitely putting yourself in a situation where you don't love a certain part of your team. You like it and you're encouraged by it, and you're trying to hit a home run at a position where you're lacking, and you're going to hit a home run. You're going to land some players that are going to, I think, over exceed expectations. That's the whole goal here. You're trying to beef up and make 0 vulnerabilities in every single part of your team, but in one section, and the one section here is RB. And I love what we're doing with it. I don't feel like it's a bad take or approach on this type of setup. This is a very, very good stab at this situation. Okay, so Kadarius Toney's there if we wanted to go wide receiver later. I like these tight end options. Ingram is a very, very solid pick. Let's go back to RB and just say, look, Rachaad White's pretty solid here. Khalil Herbert's really solid here. Charbonnet is very, very nice. I'm going to go ahead and say that give me Khalil Herbert because I believe he has the potential to be just an absolute baller. So honestly, look at the green here. We've got Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm going to make this the very right column so it's easy to see. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Debo, Justin Fields, and look, I went RB 4 straight times, and that's not unusual. And I'm still taking best player available. So this particular 5 through 8 round territory is very conducive to going RB, and it's still falling in the confines of best player available. Javonte, Swift, Pacheco, Khalil Herbert. I'm feeling pretty good about this team so far. I like it. I think it feels really good. We're very, very deep at running back. I don't think we're weak at running back. We just don't have a running back one necessarily, but we have about 4 guys that I believe could be high-end running back twos. I think Khalil Herbert could be a high-end running back two. I think Pacheco could be a high-end running back two. Swift could be one, and Javonte could be one. Javonte could be a low-end running back one, to be honest. This is a very, very solid approach at 0 RB, and it's not for everybody. A lot of people do like to go straight best player available like me more often than not versus trying to force a strategy while considering best player available every step and aborting things if things don't go right like I did with my first draft. But sometimes this stuff makes somebody really uncomfortable. Sometimes balance is the best way to go. This is not balance, but this is a fun strategy that has a lot of pros and cons, a lot of fun pros. And if you land the RB room like I think we will, this is a very, very sneaky team. Whether it's redraft, best ball, doesn't matter. There's nothing wrong with 0 RB. 0 RB could easily walk you into a championship in 2023. And if you want to try this out, and we'll wait till the turn picks before I end this video because I want you to see what I do with these next 2 picks. But if you want to try this out, make sure you get on over to Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. That link is in the description of this video as well as every other video. And promo code Smitty will land you up to $100 bonus match, dollar for dollar on your first deposit. So get some. Get on over to Underdog, hit that link, and try this strategy out, for goodness sakes. We're getting close to our pick here. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Charbonnet's available. Let's do it live. Let's take him from that guy at the end that took freaking Walker from us. Now our running back room looks pretty crazy, and I continue to pile it on, and I'll probably take one more RB. I'm going maybe McKinnon next, and then I'm going to flip back and start attacking wide receiver and tight end and backup quarterback. I don't know that we'll need any more RBs after this. I might take one more later, but this is a pretty deep RB room considering we didn't take a single RB until round number 5. So I think we got a lot of home run hitters. You only need to start 2 RBs. You need a flex, so you start 3 wide receivers, which we have, and a 2 running back room, and then a flex. But quite honestly, we're probably going to have our flex coming from our RB room because our RB room is pretty strong. I like McKinnon a lot here. McKinnon kind of tops off the Pacheco McKinnon Cuff combination that I think secures us an RB, maybe 1. Because if you look at last year, if you take Clyde Edwards-Helaire, McKinnon, and Pacheco, and you only are able to use one of them each week for 17 starts last year, it was a top 10 running back. And it was pretty clear, and you knew which running back to start each week. So I do believe the McKinnon-Pacheco combo could actually produce low-end running back 1 numbers and in best ball. You don't have to decide which one to start. It does it for you based on optimal scoring. So I do believe McKinnon-Pacheco in best ball is a low-end running back 1. And the only thing that I want to do here, I want Kincaid very, very badly. Okonkwo is another breakout of mine, though, and he's very, very far down. So I think I'm willing to take the risk, and I get McKinnon here, and now I'm good to go with my team. Hopefully I get Kincaid later, but look at that straight run of RBs. This is 0 running back to a T. Javonte round 5, Swift round 6, Isaiah Pacheco round 7, Khalil Herbert in 8, Charbonnet 9, and McKinnon in 10, and I got this loaded up wide receiver and quarterback room. And now I will return to drafting wide receiver, tight end, backup quarterback, and filling out the rest of my roster. roster. So very interesting squad indeed. And I'm pretty pleased. I think you guys that like this kind of approach will probably agree that this is a very interesting team. I'd rather talk more about the process than to continue down, that draft, and just say that, look, there are so many ways to dominate in fantasy football. And again, you have to let best player available guide you down a certain path and open doors left and right. And again, if you draft, let's say, wide receiver, and your intention is to continue on with 0 RB, but Jahmyr Gibbs is there in round 3, you got to pounce on Jahmyr Gibbs. In the case of what we just did, honestly, I feel like Walker would have been maybe better than going Justin Fields, and then I could have returned and got Trevor Lawrence in round 6, and maybe we would have had a better variant of what we were doing there. A lot of ways to dissect it after the fact, a lot of pros and cons to each of these strategies. I think ultimately I like Hero RB better. I like Travis Kelce a little bit better. 0 running back is very fun and effective, but balance is a little bit better in my opinion. Kelce round 1 gives you balance throughout and dominates the tight end position. Please watch that Kelce video, how to dominate drafting Travis Kelce in round 1 video. It's a fantastic video. But Hero RB is the most applicable. You get balance, you get the RB in round 1 or 2. You can apply Hero RB by taking your hero running back in round 2, like in Tony Pollard, or in round 1 with Bijan, and then you get balance throughout the entire draft. Hero RB is better in my opinion. Travis Kelce's better. 0 RB is fun, but it does guide you down a road where you have an uncomfortable spot on your roster that you got to try and solve through sleeper drafting. It's fun, but it's definitely a little more anxiety driven. If you're not that kind of owner, you might not want to go down the 0 RB rabbit hole. Now get out of here.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show.